Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis for gold, so the price of gold versus the US dollar. The date is May 24th, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our gold videos and other Forex pairs, make sure you click the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of your screen. Okay, so we're looking at a weekly chart for gold. This is a candlestick chart, meaning each one of these candles, red or green, as they're called candlesticks, represents 1 week of price action. So current, when we closed off last week, we finished just below $1,750, so $1,745. This is fairly significant because if we go ahead and reframe this, if we look at last week's candle, the body of this candle did close below this line, and while that in itself, it's just stamped a new high. If we go back and we look at the $1,750 to $1,800 range, we're going to see that this is the zone we were talking about before, where 4 times in the past price moved into this zone and then was quickly sold off. So what we do have here is a pretty fierce bull trend going into this zone. So I'm not going to argue that. And this, we saw our first initial kind of wane here. As far as price did punch up, but then got sold off. So sometimes it just means there was some sell orders, and then it's quickly reversed, and then price continues to push through. We don't really know though, and what this week will prove is if price can stay in this zone and move above it. Now back here in 2011, our initial uptrend, also high velocity, you can tell by the extreme upward angle, right? That's like your first trend face. It punched all the way up to $1,925. So we could be facing a similar revisit, right? Let's mark our last high. But the first thing that needs to happen is price needs to travel through this zone. And if we look historically, this has always been a point of contention. So now we need to see how price reacts. So just be careful buying here near the top because we are near resistance. Let's go ahead and look at our daily chart. Now each one of these candles represents 1 day of price action. So it gives us a smaller look. And we can see back from August, where this recent uptrend, call our near-term trend. There's our bottom. We just connected all of our lows. Now I want to make a parallel to that. So I use a parallel trend channel tool. I click along the same angle, and I click again, and then I drag up. Okay, so we see price moving here in this ascending price wedge. So a very likely scenario is that price will kick back here to the $1,700 mark as it continues up. It doesn't look like it's going to come down anytime soon, so I don't think we're going to see a big sell-off. It looks like price will continue to push against this resistance. We'll probably see a number of attempts to stab through, but as long as price stays above this parallel trend line here, we're good to go and the bull trend's in effect. So at this point, if I'm holding gold, I might set my stops here. This is your near-term support, $1,675. Price visited several times through 2020 already, and it's held there. Okay, below that, your next line of support is really here, right around the $1,575 to $1,600 mark. Now, if you look, this parallel channel tool, it stamps out this perforated channel here. So if we were to think about that as another dimension of the trend, let's overlay a trend line over that. We could also say that even if price came back down here into this zone but stayed above this trend line, it would in fact be on trend. The trend's been following for months as we continue to move upwards. So now at this point, if I were to think, okay, what would need to happen if I thought trend was moving downwards? You know, it's a downtrend. Sell, right? So in order for that to happen at this point, prices need to be below 1550. So really, I'm going to keep my stops below 1550. Now, if you're holding physical gold, you can't place a stop order, obviously, on it. But what you can do is you can consider, okay, if price, whatever happens in the market's going to be crazy. But as long as price doesn't drop below this, I feel pretty good about my position and holding them for overall long-term gains. We see the recent plummet that happened, March. The market's huge sell-off, but then a quick rebound, move back up into this ascending trend, this ascending wedge, and we're looking for bullish breakout. Just be aware. One last note, timeline, it could take up until the end of the year, okay? So here's November down at the bottom. That's where our triangle starts to crest here. It could take to the end of the year before we see gold make a break for $2,000. Okay, everyone, have a great week. I hope you make lots of profits trading. We will talk soon.